I'm sorry. I realized I did this wrong. But oh my God. Oh my Lord. We just got a free agent. I had to go live to talk about this. We just got a free agent. I'm stunned. I have to go live and talk about this. This is so. I mean, I had to. It's the first free agency signing all winter. We just got Ranger fucking Suarez. How am I not so pumped? This dude is an elite good pitcher we just got. We just got our number two easy. Easily just got our number two. That's how good this signing is. It's not a bat, but we will take it. We will take it. It is long overdue that this team needed to sign a free agent. We just got one of the better starters in the market. Maybe even the best one. We just got the guy. The guy. The Ryan Reynolds, babe. I know some of you guys might not know. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. I'm going to put it in this analogy. We just got the Ryan Reynolds of pitchers. We just got him. He is goated. I'm a big movie guy. I love Ryan Reynolds. We just got the Ryan Reynolds of pitching. That's what we just got today. And I put out a short 40-second video. I literally walked out of my class to see that. Was so excited. I got home. I immediately set this stream up and I'm talking about it. We got to talk about it. It's great. It's a big, 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 big signing. Like, how can you not get any better? Dominance on the mound greater than the bat. I would like a bat as well. You know, you could sign Ranger Suarez. That's great, but we also need a bat. So Jeff Passan. It was originally reported by John Heyman. And you know John Heyman. I thought, oh, this might not be true. This doesn't look real. You know, because remember the Aaron Judge thing a couple years ago? Was it 3 off seasons ago, 4 off seasons ago? The whole arson Judge going to the Giants. So I saw Heyman tweet it. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm like, you know, I was jumping up. I was excited. I was really excited. I'm like, I'm gonna wait a bit. I'm gonna wait just a minute, just a bit, and see what this is. I want to see, is this real? Is this fake? You know, I want to see if Passan, you know, if Rosenthal tweeted out, then Rosenthal tweeted it out and confirmed it. Like, oh, baby, this is true. And then the Passan thing came out. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's like, we just got Ranger Suarez for 5 years, $130 million. We just screwed up on the Alex Bregman signing, and we just got Ranger Suarez, one of the better pitchers on the market. That is a good pivot, if I say so otherwise. That is a pivot I will accept. They actually went out and signed a free agent. A free agent, not trade, a free agent. They spent money to improve the team. No deferrals I've seen either. From what I've heard, it's 0 deferrals. 0. Not one. I heard on Twitter, I still don't know if it's true. I think it was Heyman who tweeted it, but 0, 0, 0 deferrals. This is how good this signing is. This is good for the team. I can't emphasize that enough. This dude is a good pitcher in the postseason. Now, who does that partially remind me of? That reminds me of Walker Buehler. But this ain't no Walker Buehler type situation. This is not a type of situation when we had with Walker Buehler where Ranger Suarez is coming off of injury. You know, he's coming off of injury. He's only pitched a couple games after said injury. You know, all this stuff. This is not that. This is we're getting a guy in his prime on this team. Is he going to be the number one? He is not. Crochet still holds the number one spot. So can you imagine a 1-2 punch of Crochet and Suarez? Bang, bang. That is a elite number one and number two. I can't emphasize that enough. That is a big, big, big signing. I know there's 0 people in here watching this, but I don't care. We just got one of the biggest guys on the market. We needed it. Was I expecting a pitcher? I was not. But was I hoping we got a guy like Suarez? Absolutely. Because it doesn't matter who we have. It doesn't matter. While you'd still like a bat, you would still like to get Bo Bichette to play third base because we have a gaping hole at third base. But there's been questions all offseason, even after we traded Sonny Gray. Is Sonny Gray going to be the number 2? Giolito left, so who fixes the number 3 spot? Are we going to improvise the starting rotation more? We just did that right now. So I can just imagine right now. I can imagine the starting rotation. Come opening day, it's going to be Crochet pitching game 1. And you could see Suarez pitching on game 2 against Cincinnati. And you could see Sonny Gray, potentially Brian Bayo could be the 3. I don't know exactly who is going to get that come opening day. It's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be Gray's 3rd and Bayo is 4th. And maybe a guy like Kennelly Early gets 5th. Maybe we see a Houck in there. I don't know. The 5 is definitely up in the air, but right now I could see Crochet being the number 1 and obviously seeing Suarez 2. Gray probably going to be 3 and then Bayo's 4. And like I said, it's probably going to be Kennelly Early. It probably is going to be Kennelly Early, more than likely. I don't know yet. We're going to have to see how spring training works out with Early, guys like Tolley. We could see guys like Tolley. We could see a guy like Kennelly Early. We could see a guy like Houck. You could see a guy like Patrick Sandoval pitch in the 5th spot. There's a lot of pitchers we could work in for that 5th spot, but definitely Suarez is going to be the number 2. Suarez is 2. There's no way around it. There's no way I think that we're not going to go after a guy, or I should say, there's no way that Suarez is not 2. Worst case, he's 3. Worst, but definitely he's a number 2. That is the guy we need. 7 is saying Rafi is at 3rd. 7 is being a troll. And I don't know why 7 is watching this. But 7, I got out of class and this news broke. I got out of class and this news broke. That's how this thing went down. I published a short and I immediately hit the live button. Like 20 minutes after. It's like, I got to go live and talk about this. I have to go live and talk about this. Like this just made my day. And yesterday, Blue was not here. So if a guy like Chamas or CH shows up, they can confirm it. Yesterday, I was livid on this team. I was ranting for like a solid 30 minutes. The whole intermission, the entire intermissions during the hockey game last night and parts of the game when they had stoppages, I was ranting about this team. I was saying how bad this front office is. And they still are bad. But this kind of saves their offseason. This saves the offseason for them. You still got to get a guy like Bo Bichette. Please do not sign Eugenio Suarez. I swear to God, don't do that. Please. I don't want Eugenio Suarez. I know a lot of people in the chat do not want Eugenio Suarez, especially yesterday. Like everybody was saying who pays attention to the Sox, please don't sign Eugenio Suarez. Please don't. And I think Evan, CH, Chamas, or some other people who are saying it, don't sign this guy. Don't sign Eugenio Suarez. Please go get Bo Bichette. Now I have some confidence that this team could get Bo Bichette. Are they probably going to get outbid by the Phillies now? Probably. But do I have some confidence now that they can do it? I think they can. I have not heard, but I'm jumping from point to point, but you get what I mean. This is a good signing by this team. This is a great, great, great signing. It's awesome. We needed it. This team needs it. You got a good number two. You got a solid number two starter now. Last year, it was Giolito. Even the Diamondbacks didn't want Suarez back. Exactly. He strikes out a whole ton. He strikes out a crap ton. And the Sox already have enough guys to strike out a bunch as it is. So he'd fit perfectly if they signed him. But there was even a tweet yesterday, PAS, that if they signed Suarez and the seasons that the guys had yesterday or last year, like Story, Narvaez, Contreras, all those guys, the Sox would have about 850 strikeouts and about good 150, not barely bad actually, 150 strikeouts per player if they signed Eugenio Suarez. That's average. That's average. A solid number two crap. Solid, great number two pitcher. We got it. We got Eugenio Suarez. Wow. I'm getting the wrong Suarez is mixed up. We just got Ranger Suarez, the number two guy that we needed. It makes it better. It makes it a lot better. And speaking of Charles showing up, it's a perfect opportunity to mention it. It is perfect timing because I was just about to say it and then Charles showed up. Baltimore was in on Ranger Suarez. They were in on him. There has been rumors all damn offseason that they're in on Ranger Suarez, and they're also in on Valdez. Please, I hope they sign Valdez, because Valdez would be perfect for them. Totally. But we just got Ranger Suarez. It makes it so much better because Baltimore was in on them. Thank God they didn't get him, because you know how good they've been improving. You know how good they've been, or at least signing players. The Sox actually signed a free agent. It's January 14th. Spring training starts in about a month. It's January 14th, and we just signed a free agent. That's how long it took to sign a free agent. Why is that so? I know I'm still griping about this team signing a free agent in the middle of freaking January, but they actually signed a decent free agent. I was expecting them to sign like a really crappy free agent, like some, I don't know, some guy from China you've never heard of, or Jose Urena who signed to a team in Japan. If they would have signed a guy like that and called it an offseason pitching wise, I would have been pissed. That would have not been fun. But they go out and sign a guy like Ranger Suarez, who, by the way, I just saw a tweet from where was it here? Oh yeah. So this right now, this is the projected pitching rotation as of right now. So this guy, Boston Strong's verified Boston Twitter account, has all the news and stuff like that related to Boston. But this is who he thinks this is going to be their rotation. Crochet, Suarez, Bayo, Gray, Kennelly, Early. I didn't even look at this tweet, and they're already agreeing that Kennelly Early is probably going to be the 5 guy. I don't know about Bayo and Gray. They're about on the same talent level. They're about on the same. So those two can interchangeably swap. Those two could swap easily, and it doesn't really matter because they are both the exact same type of pitcher. They both don't throw a ton of fat. They both throw a ton of like off-speed pitches. Bayo does not throw a fastball very often. Sonny Gray doesn't throw a fastball very often. So it works. I think it was Sonny Gray doesn't top out over like 93 miles an hour. Bayo tops out at a higher speed, but he throws way more off speed. I believe Sonny Gray does the same thing. So, like I said, those two can change interchangeably whatsoever. So those two, we'll have to see when it comes opening day. Kennelly Early, I think, is probably going to get the 5, like Boston Strong said. Kennelly Early played really good last year. So I think he is probably going to get the 5. If it's not him, then you got other guys. You got a guy like Crawford. Please, no. Sandoval, Kyle Harrison, Peyton Tolley, Oviedo, they just traded for with the Pirates. I don't know too much about Oviedo. Tolley, I'm not sold on Tolley yet. I'm not sold on Tolley whatsoever. Because Tolley pitched one good game. He was like the Dustin May of the rotation. He had one good game, and then after that, he fell apart completely because he only throws 2 pitches. He throws a fastball, I believe it's a slider, but the fastball was getting torched. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, when PAS mentioned it, the Diamondbacks torched him. I believe Eugenio Suarez. No, Suarez was already on Seattle. Never mind. They cooked. The Diamondbacks cooked on Eugenio Suarez. They killed him. Or on Peyton Toley. I keep getting names mixed up. Sandoval, he has not pitched in a year and a half. We signed him back last offseason in December, like December 15th or something. I can't remember the exact dates because I remember signing him. I was out to eat at a restaurant at Denny's, and they signed Patrick Sandoval. On the way home, they signed Patrick Sandoval. So I don't know too much about Patrick Sandoval. He's still hurt, I believe. Cutter Crawford, I've seen enough of Cutter Crawford as it is. I have seen way too much of Cutter Crawford. I am not interested in Cutter Crawford. Yes, they got Cutter Crawford on an arbitration deal. I don't know how much it is. I didn't look. Was it $2.75 million or something like that? It's the same thing they did with Houck, but I'm not going to. I got messages from. I was talking to Jennifer about this signing. I put it in movie terms for her. But yeah, this is a great signing. It's great. I don't know how much I can say more about it. I mean, I can say a lot more about it. I'm so freaking pumped up that we actually did something. So what's the Twitter feed saying? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, this is the potential thing. Red Sox updated starting pitchers. Yeah, Crochet, Sonny Gray, Ranger Suarez, Brian Bayo, Oviedo, Sandoval, Crawford, Kennelly Early, Peyton Toley, Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison looked pretty decent. I will say that. There was another tweet out there. Oh, it's right here. Ranger Suarez in the postseason, 4-1 with a 1.48 ERA, 42 innings pitched, only 32 hits, 7 earned runs, 44 strikeouts to 13 walks, and a whip of 1.05. This is a guy we need. Is this kind of reminding me of Walker Buehler with the postseason stats? Absolutely it is. But here's the thing. Here's the difference between Ryan Bayo and Ranger Suarez. Number one, Ranger Suarez is a lefty. Ranger Suarez is a left-hander. Number two, Ranger Suarez ain't coming off an elbow injury or whatever the hell Walker Buehler had. What was it, an elbow injury at that point? Well, let me look. I believe there was an injury thing. Pull that up here in just a second. I don't have an overlay for this because I just hit the live button, so not going to set up an entire overlay. Take like 15-20 minutes when I want to talk to you about it right now. So it's right here. Injuries, spot track. Yeah, he had a last year. He had Tommy John's 2024. He had Tommy John. He was coming back from Tommy John. He was coming back from Tommy John surgery. And then he had a hip injury. And then he pitched in the World Series and he struggled. He's starting to build his arm strength back up. Then he had that shoulder injury at one point. So this is no Walker Buehler type shenanigans this time. There's no Walker Buehler BS that is involved with this nonsense with Ranger Suarez. Now, I want to pull up Ranger Suarez's numbers right now. Charles saying, are you kidding me? Unbelievable, unthinkable. Let's see here. Ranger Suarez. Let's check that out here. Sorry, I did not come prepared to talk about this. I just wanted to go live, so I talked about it. So I wanted to go live. Last year, he was 12-8, a 3.2 ERA. Yeah, so a 3.2 ERA and a 127 whip, or 1.2 whip, 1.22 whip in 157 innings. Had 151 strikeouts to 38 walks. So a strikeout ratio of 4 strikeout to walk ratio of 4. Only gave up 57 runs, 56 earned. Now his best season came in 2023. No, sorry. ERA wise, that was actually one of his worst seasons. His best season came in 2021, but he has not gone over a 4 ERA since 2023. Obviously, I'm still hoping for that. I'm very well still hoping for that. He made 26 starts, so he was pretty consistent. He didn't hit 30, but he still played pretty good. Came in the during the regular season, and like I pulled up this tweet here, he's a pretty damn good pitcher in the postseason. Is he going to have an occasional bad start? He probably is. He's probably going to have like a crochet game against the Astros last year, where you gave up 6 runs, whatever it was, in 4 innings. Like, you're going to have a bad game. Everybody's going to have a bad game every now and then. But Suarez is a good addition. This is a very, very good addition by this team. I love it. I love this signing because it takes the pressure off Crochet. Because you think last year around this time, we traded for Garrett Crochet. After that, who do you think we have? Think come opening day last year. Think come opening day. I'll pull up the roster. Opening day roster of 2025. MLB.com. First, second base, short, third, outfield, DH, bench, yada, yada, yada. This is the type of thing we had last year. This was the opening day thing. You had Garrett Crochet, Tanner Houck, Walker Buehler, Richard Fitz, Sean Newcomb, and Lucas Giolito, Brian Bayo. That is like, After Crochet, you get like, Like, but at the time, we were all like, ooh, Walker Buehler, this should be good. That flopped almost instantly. So last year, we all had that feeling. After Crochet, whatever. Decent, like nothing screams elite. Nothing screams like elite pitcher like Eugenio. God, I need to get Eugenio Suarez out of my mind. It doesn't scream elite like Ranger Suarez does. Because Ranger Suarez is an elite guy. That's a guy you need in this rotation. Because it takes the stress off Crochet, so Crochet doesn't need to be perfect every single game. Think if we had Ranger Suarez last year in the wild card series against the Yankees. We would have beaten New York. I mean, we could have beaten New York even without Ranger Suarez, but adding Ranger Suarez, we can be better than them. We can be better than the Yankees. Right now, the Yankees have done jack shit. Sorry, my language, but that's true. They haven't done anything, really. They're going to lose Cody Bellinger. However, they're going to get a guy like Garrett Cole potentially back this year. So they could probably improve. They got a guy like Cam Schittler. They got a guy like Max Fried. They've got some decent players on their team. And we needed a couple decent, so we actually went out and signed a good guy like Suarez, which we needed. I can't say it enough. We needed, well, it wasn't like a big priority, but it's a trade. It's a free agency signing you needed to make. You need to improve the team somehow, some way by free agency. Because think about it, the Sox were only trading with 2 teams the entire offseason. They've only made trades with 2 particular teams. The Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. That's it. And the 2 trades with the Cardinals, we have made an improvement and put a bandage on one. Because basically, to me, I'm not going to judge it too much, but Sonny Gray is a slight upgrade maybe even the same as Lucas Giolito, except Sonny Gray is 5 years older. This is a 1-year deal. The Contreras trade is much better to me than the Sonny Gray trade. But I'm not talking about the Wilson Contreras trade. I should have lied for the Wilson Contreras trade, but I didn't at the time. And the Oviedo trade, I think I went over it once. And we got like, I don't know, 9 games or something. Like he only played like 9 games. Like I don't even, in the last year because he had Tommy John. So anything can happen with Oviedo. In my opinion, I think Oviedo is going to be the guy who I don't know too much about him, so I'm not going to set it in stone. But I think Oviedo will be the guy. Like, you know how, remember the De Leon guy last year that pitched in the final game of the season against Detroit? I think he's going to be something like that, where, you want to rest your starter, or you need a 6th guy up, or somebody gets hurt. Oviedo is probably going to be that guy. He's probably going to be in AAA. He's going to be the fringe MLB starter. Pitches a couple games. Say if Sonny Gray is on the IL or something, or God forbid, Ranger Suarez is on the IL, or God, even worse, Garrett Crochet's on the IL. Please, anything but that, or Suarez, or anybody getting hurt. I don't like injuries. I don't think anybody likes injuries. But Oviedo is probably going to be that guy who's going to be called up, break glass in case of emergency type thing, I love them. I just saw a meme here. I just saw that meme. It's Cora on the payphone. Hello, we're back, department. I'd like to file a claim. I'd like to file a claim. We've made a free agent signing. We have made a free agent signing. For once! It's January. It's January 14th. And we actually just made a free agency signing. I'm actually excited. I don't know how long you guys would want me to be live here for. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be live here for. But this is a great signing. I don't know how much this impacts the Bo Bichette talks. I don't know if they're still on Bo Bichette now because of this trade. My God. I don't know how much this is going to impact the Bo Bichette talks. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how much this will impact it. Because anything can happen still with Bo Bichette. Anything. I mean, anything could happen with Bo Bichette. I mean, the Phillies are still in on Bo Bichette. Well, I heard the Blue Jays could still be in on him. The Dodgers are probably in on Bo Bichette. I think it's the Dodgers, the Phillies. I believe I heard the Mets. I thought I heard the Mets. I don't know if that's true or not. The Yankees could possibly be in on him. So, I don't know how much this will impact the Bo Bichette talks. If I had to guess, that this trade, stop saying trade, this free agent signing is probably going to be the one thing where the Sox are going to say, hey, we signed a free agent. We got a good front line. We got a good number 2 starter. So we're probably not going to go on Bo Bichette. To that, I don't know what Sox fans are going to say. Now, if they don't go after Bo Bichette, they're probably going to put a guy like Marcelo Meyer at third base and hope he stays healthy. Because if he doesn't stay healthy, then who do you have at third base? I know I'm switching from one point, but it's all related somehow. Because if you don't get Bo Bichette, and you don't sign Eugenio Suarez, which I swear to freaking God, if they do that, I'm not going to be happy. I will not be happy. You will see an angry Fitzy if they sign Eugenio Suarez. But say they don't sign either. Hypothetical situation here. They don't sign Bo Bichette. He goes, I don't know, to Philly. He goes to Philly. Let's just say that, because that's probably where he's going to be anyway. And Eugenio Suarez goes to, I don't freaking know. What's the team who needs a third baseman right now other than us? I don't know. We'll just Say he resigns in Seattle. How about that? Say he goes back to Seattle on a 2-year, $15 million contract. I don't know. I'm putting it in a hypothetical situation here. Say that happens. Say that happens. Both are off the table. You can't think of another third baseman, which I heard, which somebody in the chat yesterday, I think it was CH, made the funny point of signing Justin Turner. That'd be hilarious. But who's your third base option? Who would be your third base option? Would it be? It's probably going to be, you're going to get a guy like Nate Eaton, third base, Marcelo, third base. You get a platoon at third base. That's probably what it's going to be. And I would not like that. Hold on, I'm just going to update this. I'm going to update this description. So excited. KO boys saying, yo, Fitzy, love you, bud. Congrats on the Ranger Suarez signing. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I mean, I like this signing too, man. This is a great signing. This is like I've said it before. This is a guy you need, because now you got, like I said, takes the pressure off Garrett Crochet. Now you got a 1-2 monster at the top of your rotation. And then you got a guy like Sonny Gray, Brian Bayo, could be potentially the 3-4 guys, and then a guy like Kennelly Early. That's a pretty damn good rotation. From 1 to 3, 4 to 5, depending on who 4 and 5 is, that could be still a good rotation. So this rotation just got a hell of a lot better. Hell of a lot better. Suarez also brings a 4.7 ERA WAR to the table, to the rotation. So that's an extra 5 wins. That's about an extra 5 wins added to this rotation. Sox finished with 89 wins last year. You'd add an extra 5 wins? I'll freaking take it. I'll take it. I mean, who wouldn't take Ranger Suarez right now? A lot of teams I heard were in on him. But you needed... Craig Breslow actually went out and signed somebody. Maybe the backlash finally got to him. This is also... this is apparently from Sleeper. 5 years, $130 million. No, please, no. I don't want Eugenio Suarez. I don't want Eugenio Suarez. He strikes out a ton. He only hits it's either home runs or strikeouts. I don't want Eugenio Suarez on the team. I don't. I really don't. That's probably, if I had to guess, KO, that's probably what they're going to do on the free agent market for third base, unless they make a trade, which I don't think they will. If I had to guess, if they were going to trade for somebody at third base, they probably would have went with Nolan Arenado, but Nolan Arenado is now in Arizona. So I think they're just going to go sign a free agent. And if they're not going to sign any free agents on the third base market, they're probably going to go internal. So if I had to guess, they're going internal. They're probably going to go Marcelo at third, and then maybe a platoon of Marcelo and Nate Eaton. I don't know, because really, who do you think you have after after that? You don't want to play Costas at first base or at third base. Costas sucks no matter where you play him. It's just a waste of a roster spot. I mean, you also got a guy. I mean, you don't really want to play David Hamilton a ton of playing time. You really can't move Raffaello over there because Raffaello is a center fielder. He's a natural center fielder. You're wasting his talent at second base. Dr. Delace here is saying good signing. I agree. It's a great signing. 5 years, $130 million, and this just came out. No deferrals, no opt-outs. That's a big thing. Thank God. That's what I was worried about when this thing came out. Are there any? I'm not really worried about the deferrals. I was more worried about, is there opt-outs? That's what I was concerned. Is there opt-outs after this crap? Is there a opt-out after the first season or every season like the Bregman contract was? or opt out after 2 seasons. That's what I was worried about. But apparently this says no opt outs yet. Yay! Like, that is a big thing I was worried about all day, or at least as of an hour ago. As an hour ago, I was worried about opt outs and what was going to go on with that. I'm just a man. Lol. I'm just a man. I mean, this is just epic. This is good. I don't know how JJ's going to be about this. I don't know how, I don't know what play-by-play with JJ's reaction is going to be to this. I don't know if he's posted anything about it yet. Let's check. Did JJ post anything about this? I don't know what JJ would say about this. Yeah, let me check here. Yeah, the Sox have not confirmed the deal, but the deal includes no opt-outs and no deferrals. So 0 of that crap. Fitzy, do you think the Red Sox can compete for a playoff spot now? Oh, I think they can compete for a playoff spot with this delay. I think they can. They're probably going to get the second or third wild card with just this. I think they can still compete for a wild card. Does that mean they're going to win it? It depends on the opponent. But I think they're definitely going to compete for the wild card, yes. Because last year, even they traded Devers away, they still competed for that wild card. So I think they will still compete. Dare I say they go for the division with this signing? Dare I say they go get division? I think if they get a bat, like a Bo Bichette type bat, which that I hope they get. If they get like a Bo Bichette type player, we just jumped from wild card to potential division winning team. And yeah, I know last year I partially don't want to fall into the hype of this team competing for the division, because if you remember last year, people were saying that this team was going to go to the World Series with Alex Bregman, with Bregman and Crochet being the big things. So I'm not going to be the type who says, oh, this team's going to go to the World Series immediately. We still need more moves. We still need to get a guy like Bo Bichette. He can play third base. I'd like to sign another reliever. That would be good, because I believe Justin Wilson is retiring, or at least that's what I heard. He was going to retire. And you would still somehow, I would love it if they could somehow trade away Jordan Hicks and get another reliever. That'd be great. But the starting rotation, I don't think needs any more help. Like, the starting rotation, in my eyes, does not need more help. But yeah, I think they can still compete for that wild card. They're probably going to end up with the second wild card like they did last year, because you got the Yankees and the Blue Jays in the same division. It's going to be very hard to clinch that division. So they're probably going to get that second wild card. Worst case, third. Best case, first wild card. That'd be nice. I think a lot of Orioles fans will be sad. I think a lot of them wanted Suarez on the team. That's what I heard. I honestly thought, Card Craze, that Baltimore was going to get Suarez. I had it. Trisk. Well, he's crazy, but he's awesome. I honestly thought, like I just mentioned, Card Craze, I had it in my mind that Baltimore was going to get Suarez. If not Suarez, they were going to get Valdez. I was hoping, and they got him. It's nice to think that we actually got Suarez, and that makes it better for the Sox, because we just signed a massive free agent away from a division rival. Because if you look at it, the Orioles have been making a lot of moves. They got a Pete Alonso, they got a Taylor Ward. They've been adding. They have been adding to their team. The Sox have not done much. They got a Sonny Gray, who is going to be, like I mentioned, is going to be the Giolito replacement. He's just going to be the Giolito type, the 3 guy, maybe the 4. Hopefully he puts up Giolito type numbers. And then they got Contreras, who can play first base, which I think is a really good trade, because Tristan Casas just freaking sucks. I mean, there's no way you can put around it. I don't care about the injuries anymore. No, this is not me saying, if any of you guys don't know, Tristan Casas doing his freaking yoga out in left field type thing. I am not saying getting rid of Casas because of that. I don't care about the yoga. I don't care about the long hair. I don't care about the painting nails thing. I don't care. Casas sucks. Crochet, Suarez, Bale, that's solid three. If Gray can just be an okay, solid four starters to have, should do well. Exactly. Bale and Suarez, I think, or Bale and Suarez. Bale and Gray are going to be, to me, interchangeable. To me, that's all going to depend on spring training. Because both really have the same type of skill set, I would say. They're both kind of the same, except Bayo's just like, I don't know, 8 years younger. But yeah, Sonny Gray, 3, 4 guys, and then you got Crochet at 1 and Suarez at 2. That's a damn good punch at rotation. And yeah, we just need to hit because even in that wild card series where we played the Yankees, the offense went flat from like what was it, game 2 since like the 6th inning. So from game 2, from the 6th inning on, all the way to the end of game 3, like 15 innings in a row, they couldn't do anything on offense. So they need a bat. That's why I've been pushing. We need a bat. We need a bat. We need another bat. We got Contreras. Canelli Early's pretty decent. He's your typical 5-starter. The only thing I would not be too pumped up about Canelli Early delay is that he's a rookie. He only had like 5 starts. But in those 5 starts, what was it, 5 or 6 starts last year, he only played in September. Like, he played very little. He got the game 3 start in the wild card. That's how much they believe in him. Oh, I'm sorry. 4 games. He only played 4 games. 4 games, but with a 2.3 ERA. So 2.33 ERA in 19 innings, struck out 29 batters. A whip of .1086. So about a 1.09 whip. So he was pretty good. And the wild card, he kind of got screwed over because the defense kind of stunk. The defense kind of plagued them because, what was it, that little bloop hit started a rally for the Yankees. He's projected to have a 3.73 ERA this year. And how many starts does this thing says? Baseball reference. 70 innings. So he's going to be our 5 guy. He's definitely going to be our 5 starter. I'm trying to compare him to another 5 guy, but he's going to be the 5 starter. He's a decent 5 starter, fringe bullpen starter, I guess, fringe 6th. But what am I trying to say? I don't know who else could have really competition with him for the 5 starter role. He could have Tolley, but Tolley for a 5 starter kind of sucks because Tolley only has 2 pitches. I don't know if he's added any more pitches because last time I saw Tolley pitch, oh my God, he was pitching in the home run derby because Tolley only throws 2. Yeah, that's pretty good, but yeah, it's a small sample size. If he's legit, that's one of the top rotations in baseball. We got to give him more starts. But in those limited starts, he played really good. He's got some good stuff. He's got a good breaking ball. I love it. But yeah, he needs more starts. He needs more reps. Everybody loves Canelli Early. So I'm willing to give Canelli Early a shot. Watch all that. They send him down to Worcester to start the season. And then they bring out Tanner Houck back from injury, and he stinks. Fitzy, what about Matt Shaw from the Cubs? The Cubs don't want him on the team because of his stuff. Because of his political stuff. I don't know too much about Matt Shaw. Well, he's probably going to be out the door because of the Bregman signing then, right? Now, let's see. 2025. Let's see. What did he do in 2025 here? 2025 had 126 games. 13 home runs, 44 RBIs, 17 stolen bases. 94 strikeouts to 38 walks, 226 average, a 295 OPS, or excuse me, 295 on base, 394 slug, so 690 OPS, 98 OPS plus, so he's slightly just below average. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you could take a chance on him. Is he bat left-handed or is he a righty? Did it say up here? Okay, he's a right-handed bat, so he would work pretty good at Fenway. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, card crazed. I don't know if the Red Sox would really consider that much. Because we have Aroldis Chapman on the team. Card crazed. Look up Aroldis Chapman personal life. I think he's known more for his fielding. I don't know too much about Matt Shaw delay. I don't follow the Cubs. If it was an American League type team at third base, I could probably know more about it, but I don't know much about Matt Shaw. I don't know. He's probably going to be out the door anyway because, like I said, Bregman's going to be at third. Yeah, Matt Shaw is a potential Rookie of the Year candidate. I mean, if Craig Breslow wants to go contact his old team, he probably could, but yeah, I don't know if the Sox would be too I don't know what's the word. I don't think they're really going to care as much about the political type. I don't know what Shaw's political stance is. I'm not going to get into that here on stream because we don't mix politics and sports in the same conversation, if you know what I mean, because you know how that's going to start fights. But baseball wise, I would take a chance. I would. Because who knows? What if his second season, it's his sophomore season, he blows up? I wouldn't mind Shaw personally on the Pirates. I think Chicago keeps him as a utility player. That makes sense. But we'll have to see what they do, especially since Bregman's signing there. I haven't heard much about it, so I don't know what they're going to do. I just got a Twitter notification. Oh, is it Heyman? Oh, the Mets are likely going to get an answer soon on Kyle Tucker. Watch it during this stream. That'd be so funny. That'd be hilarious if that happens on this stream. This was as of 2 hours ago. Sources around the league, not just in Boston, suggest the Red Sox. Okay, so they already got that. So the Sox already did that, except this post said they were going to do it via trade. Yeah, even Fox MLB has it here. The Red Sox keep adding arms. Here's how Boston's rotation is projected to look on opening day after they reportedly signed Ranger Suarez. So you got a guy like Crochet, number one. Suarez, two. Gray, three. God, Sonny Gray looks like he's about to stab somebody in his sleep. Doesn't Sonny Gray... I think somebody just got home. But doesn't Sonny Gray look like the type of person who's about to stab you in your sleep if you look at him wrong? He's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you in your sleep. Then Brian Bayo. I don't know about Oviedo. Actually, DeLay is a Pirates fan, so I don't know. Do you know anything much about Oviedo? I don't know nothing. I know like virtually nothing about Oviedo. I think I looked him up once, and I have not heard much about him. I think he's going to start the year in Worcester. So I think they're going to I would think they give Early the job for 5. Bitsy, I predict Kyle Tucker signs with the Dodgers. No, Kyle Tucker wants more than a 1-year deal. Besides, if the Dodgers wanted Kyle Tucker, they would have already gotten him already. They would have gotten him already if they really wanted him that bad. That's just me, but I don't know. It'd be nice if he goes to the Mets. As long as Kyle Tucker is not with anybody in the American League, I'm not going to care. Oviedo is solid. Forgot he went there. He'll definitely make the team. I think he could. They're probably, well, we'll have to see. I mentioned earlier that Oviedo would probably be the guy who is in Worcester, and then if somebody gets hurt, he would be the guy who immediately gets called up. I don't know. I don't know too much about him. I would assume if he's not starting, Oviedo could be the long man. I would assume. Or Orly could be the long man and Oviedo's the starter. I have no idea. What happened, says Chalmers? What happened, Chalmers? The Sox went out and signed a free agent. That's what happened. And I have been live for nearly an hour. 50 minutes, actually, to be exact. 51 and a half minutes. I was disappointed we let him go, but we needed bats, so I understood the decision. I don't know too much about, let me look up his stats. We did something, but is it the right thing to do? Pitching wise, Chalmers? Yes. Yes, it is. Pitching wise, yes. I would like this Ranger. Oviedo. Oviedo. Where is reference? 2-1 with a 3.57 ERA, 9 starts, 40 innings, 42 strikeouts, whip of 1.22. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's not terrible, yeah. Oh, that war stat does not look friendly. I don't care about your gambling ads. Why is 2024 blank? What does that mean? Oh, he's probably hurt. That's probably what it was. 40 innings, 3.5. He's a career 4.24 ERA. Oh, Tommy John. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you. Tommy John, yeah. That makes sense. I was going to guess something elbow related because he only had a year. Because he had that year off. That makes sense. Yay, we did good. We do good thing. I'm proud of you, idiot Red Sox. Now time for celebratory ice cream. Chalmers, aren't you supposed to be in class right now? What are you doing? Chalmers, aren't you supposed to be in school? He was trending really well at the end of 2023, gets hurt, and then comes back and did well. Good. All right. So maybe they could put him at 5. But I think it's just going to depend on spring training, on the spring training results, because Kennelly early looked really good. If I had to guess, they're probably going to put Oviedo as the long man. Like how they did with Nick Pivetta a couple years ago. Or a guy like they did with Tolley last year. I got off of Jim Lowell. I'll go to science. Chomsky is still in school. And he's like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? I hope Chomsky doesn't get in trouble for that. I'm surprised CH has not popped in and put his words on this. I am a little surprised. Oh, he might be sleeping right now. That makes. Yeah, I'm surprised CH has not popped in. Say anything about this. Waiting for the breaking outfielder Kyle Tucker and the Boston Red Sox are in agreement tweet. They're not going to get Kyle. The Sox, I will tell you this. Thank you. The Sox are not going to be in on Kyle Tucker. Why that is? Because we have a log jam of outfielders. As much as I love Kyle Tucker, position-wise and like personnel, I guess I'll go football term, personnel-wise for the Red Sox, they are not going to go after Kyle Tucker because we have way too many outfielders as it is. Think about the outfield room. It's like football. Think about it like the QB room, kind of. You got Jaron Duran. You got Cedar Rafaela. You got Wilyer Abreu. Roman Anthony. No, hold on, let me think. Yeah, Jaron Duran in left. You could have Cedar Rafaela at center. Wilyer Abreu in right, Roman Anthony in right. You also got kind of think Yoshida. I don't think they want Rafaela playing at second base that long, dude. Rafaela, in my mind, does not need to play second base. Statistically, he is a worse hitter at second base than he is in center field. He is way better as a defender in center field as well. Like, you need that platinum glove defense out in center field. Gold glove caliber defense in center field. You need that. Because you really need that defense out in center field. Dude, why am I in school the 2 days that news happens? First, Tomlin gets fired on my lunch break yesterday. Now this. I don't know, Thomas. I mean, I could see they playing Rafael at second base, but personally, I don't agree with it. Because I think we mentioned it. I think Thomas was here when we mentioned it. Me and CH mentioned it on stream last night. Rafael, yeah, I'm trying to think of the other outfielders I'm thinking of. Oh, Campbell can play outfield. That's right. But usually he plays second base. There's another outfielder I'm trying to think of, but I can't remember his name. Let me think. Duran. It's Duran. Yeah, let me think. Duran, Rafaela, Abreu, and oh, not Tolley. Tolley is a pitcher. I'm trying to think of the outfielders right now. So Duran, Rafaela, Abreu, Anthony, Yoshida. There's someone else. There was 6 outfielders, I believe, on the team at one point. I can't remember who else the other one was. I'm trying to remember who it was. The password, that's who it was. Thank you. Thank you. The password, that's who it was. So yeah, 6. They had 6 outfielders at one point. Now they're down to 5. But they still have that decent log jam. And that's where the rumors were. Yeah, you guys have the password. Oh yeah, that's who we traded Oviedo for. We traded the password to you guys for Oviedo. That's where we got him from. I knew we were getting him from somewhere. Oops, I keep hitting this button. That's where they got him from. Was Oviedo from. I knew we got him. I knew we got rid of somebody for him. So yeah, that's the 6th outfielder I was thinking of was Garcia. There's something else I'm trying to think of right now, related to the defense. I did mention earlier that I would love for them to get Bo Bichette. When I saw the Sox made a move, I was thinking it was Bo Bichette. But then I saw it was Ranger Suarez, and I was like, I can't be mad at this because, they got a good guy at. We stole the Wi-Fi password from the Pirates. No, they stole the Wi-Fi password from us. They stole the password from us. But we got Oviedo in return. Delay. Thomas, think. We have. The password is a decent hitter. But the password's a decent hitter, but I think he had like 6 at-bats the entire season last year, and he went like 0 for 6. Oh yeah, damn you, Pirates. But yeah, I'm trying to think as well. Like, I'm just trying to go position by position. First base is already taken care of. First base is taken care of already. You got Wilson Contreras. Second base is a priority. Second base, if you signed a Bo Bichette, you could play Bo Bichette. I'm thinking they're going to play Bo Bichette at third. They're probably going to play a platoon of like Romy Gonzalez at second base. Maybe a David Hamilton at second base. I think they're going to go platoon-wise there. Or I think they're going to do. Oh, anyway, I got to go. All right, congrats on the signing. Thanks, Delay, for popping in. Appreciate it. What was I thinking of? Oh, Campbell, the soup god. Thomas, your favorite player, the soup god. The soup god could play second base. Now, last year, he played a solid month, great month of baseball. So in like March and April, he played really, really good to start the season, and he fell off a cliff. So I could see them playing Campbell at second. Shortstop, they're going to play Story. Story's going to be at short. Story's definitely going to be at short, and if he's not at short, he's at second base because Story can play second base because Story played second when we had Bogarts on the team back in 2022. So if you have to move Story over to second, which I don't see them doing, they could. Third, I would hope they get Bo Bichette because I think Bo Bichette can play third. I think that's what I heard. Can Bo Bichette play third base? That would be a Dallas question. I believe Bichette can play third because he's got the arm to play third. So if you had to get a third baseman, Bo Bichette is probably going to be your guy at third. In the outfield, you're going to have, I believe, Duran in left. You're going to have maybe Yoshida out in left. Very rarely are you going to see Yoshida out in left. The only time, really, you're going to see Yoshida out in left is when we're playing at home. When we're playing at Fenway, you're going to see Yoshida out in left occasionally. Yoshida sucks as a fielder, by the way, in case you guys don't know that. So you're probably going to see more of Duran out in left. Center field, I would love to see Rafaela out in center. Right field, it's going to probably be Abreu. Roman, excuse me, Roman. Roman's probably going to play a lot of right field, and then Abreu's probably going to be that guy, pinch hit, pitches against righties or plays against righties, all that. Because Willie Abreu is not good against lefties, in case you guys don't know that. Roman crushes everybody. But Yoshida's probably going to be your DH. They might give a DH or a couple DH opportunities to Roman, and then they play Abreu out in right field because Abreu's good in right field. In case you guys don't know, Abreu is very good in right field. I believe he won a Gold Glove in his rookie year. So not this last season, but 2024, he won a Gold Glove. ESPN's grading the. So what was the contract? 5 years, 130 million, right? So let's see, 130 divided by 5. So that's $26 million a season. So that's $26 million a season. So that's pretty good for an AAV. ESPN is giving the trade a B, or the signing a free B minus. So let's see what ESPN has to say. Grade B minus. The deal 5 years, 130 million. Roster construction can often be a confounding thing to analyze. After not re-signing Alex Bregman, who went to the Cubs for 5 years, 175 million last week, the Boston Red Sox apparently took that money and gave it to left-handed starter Ranger Suarez. He's a good pitcher. That's a lot of money though for Suarez. I think it's a decent contract, but Suarez has never made 30 starts in a season. He's never qualified for the ERA title by pitching 162 innings. Who cares about an award unless it's a Cy Young? He also has a 3.25 ERA since 2021, which ranks 10th among pitchers with at least 600 innings. There you go. That's a good thing there. At $26 million a season, that puts his contract in line with pitchers with a similar ERA over this. So basically, he's getting about the same amount of money as guys like the similar ERA. So guys with the similar ERA as Suarez over the last couple of years: Blake Snell, Kevin Gausman, Nathan Eovaldi, Carlos Rodon, Luis Castillo. Look at all those names. 4 of those guys are in the American League. 4 are in the American League. 2 of them we play 13 times a year. 13 times a year. In Kevin Gausman with the Blue Jays and Carlos Rodon with the Yankees. How often are we going to play Carlos Rodon? My guess, 2 times, maybe 3 times a year. Same thing with Kevin Gausman. I don't know. It all depends on scheduling. But think, Snell, $31 million a season. Gausman, $22. Evaldi, $25. Rodon, $27. Castillo, $21.6. They almost have gotten, the Sox almost got Luis Castillo like 100 times in the last year and a half. Of course, that 3.25 ERA also includes a 1.36 ERA over 106 innings in 2021. And I love this thing. I can't stand this really with ESPN. And Suarez isn't going to post this at 1.36 in ERA. Who cares? What if he does, ESPN? Then you're shocked? Plus, he lacks the Cy Young upside. Fuck you. Upside of Snell or the durability of Gausman. Also, fuck you. Who cares what you think, ESPN? He's a damn good pitcher. Oh, what if he competes for the Cy Young? He probably isn't in the American League because, he's got a guy like Crochet as his teammate and Tarek Skubal, but he's going to be in the conversation if he has a damn good season. What do you mean he isn't going to be in there? So that probably makes his contract a slight overpay. Slight overpay. Okay. Which the Red Sox were obviously reluctant to do with Bregman, but if Suarez performs, they won't matter. Suarez's history of minor injuries over the last 4 seasons, combined with a fastball that averages just 91. I love the fact that they mentioned that. The Sox don't, other than Crochet, they don't throw a ton of fastballs. Andrew Bailey and the Red Sox do not throw fastballs very often. They don't. Think about it. Brian Bayo. Just think Brian Bayo for a second. I've been talking about Brian Bayo for the past, God knows how long. Brian Bayo does not throw a fast. He throws a fastball, but very rarely. Look what he throws. He throws a sinker, a circle changeup. He throws a slider. He's not. The Sox, especially 2024. Chalmers, I know you're not going to know as much, but 2024, the Sox almost abolished fastballs. They were they were preaching no fastballs in the Red Sox pitching system. Bailey kind of curved it. That's okay, throw some fastballs. But very rarely, other than Garrett Crochet, you're not going to see a lot of pitchers on this team throw a ton of fastballs. Unless it's a bullpen guy. But in the starting rotation, not a lot of fastballs. Not a ton of 95, 96, stuff like that. Brian Bayo can do it, but Crochet is your big gun with that. He compensates, though, with his lack of velocity with a ton of pitches. A curveball, changeup, sinker. He also has a cutter, slider combination. He's a fun pitcher to watch, induces contact, gets a ton of ground balls. Boston does have the only problem with that, in my opinion, is the Sox defense. The defense, as you guys know, I have complained about the defense for years. For years. Years. Not year, years. I've been covering this team since 2023. Since the end of I would say August of 2023. I have been covering their games. All of 2024 and all of 2025. So we're going maybe 2.5 years of this stuff. Their defense is atrocious at fielding ground balls sometimes. That is a problem. Hopefully gets fixed. Story doesn't commit a ton of errors. Hopefully not. I mean, he does, but hopefully you get a guy at third base. That's why it's important to get a guy at third base like Bo Bichette. Because you got a ground ball pitcher like Suarez. You got a ground ball pitcher like Suarez. You got a pretty good, decent player at third base. It's going to work. It's going to be great to watch. That's why I wanted Bregman back partially. It was because of his defense. I don't want Eugenio Suarez as well because his defense is terrible. It might be on the same level as Rafael Devers' defense, which Seven always brings up Rafael Devers. Seven does not know that Rafael Devers is atrocious at third base. He was terrible at third base on defense. Yeah, Seven. He was actually one of the worst third baseman on defense. I think in his entire position group, he was like ranked one of the worst. So any of you Sox fans don't know that, there's your factoid of the day for Rafael Devers. Oh, Rafi's going to say he's not bad at third base, but,
No.
whatever. Brett Beatty and AJ Ewing for a Duran trade. I don't think they're trading Duran. I think I don't. Craig Breslow is putting the Darren Duran trade price too high. Like they were for the longest time, Cal. They were talking of sending Duran to Kansas City for Cole Reagans, I think it was. But the asking price for Duran was way too high, according to some free agents. Sorry, teams, not free agents. Oh, I didn't even notice. I haven't been on that page in the last like 10 minutes. 7 in YouTube, and especially involving sports, gambling is basically the thing nowadays. So what am I going to do about it? But how long have I been rambling on? I've been rambling on for like almost an hour and 15 minutes talking about this trade. I've been live since about, I don't know, freaking 2:50. So I'm still talking about it, but yeah, Devers sucked at third base. So if you get a guy like Ranger Suarez on your team, you definitely need good defense. Good defense is key, which you could see Rafaela playing at second base. So, like you mentioned earlier, because of the high upside, but I would rather him play in center field because Eugenio Suarez does. Ranger Suarez does throw, like they just mentioned. Ranger Suarez throws slower pitches, so they could have a higher potential of getting crushed. So you would like to see Rafaela out in center field, making diving catches or the jump catches or whatever great catch you can think of in your head. Cedon can do it, and he could do it well. He can do it very well. The Sox may have the best rotation in all Major League Baseball. In fact, before this signing, Fangraphs projected as Boston as the top rotation with a 17.2 WAR, just ahead of the Dodgers with a 17.21. So this is before the signing with the Ranger Suarez signing. This now after we could have I don't know what it's going to be now, but it could be high. Think you got Garrett Crochet, you got Sonny Gray, you got Suarez now, Bayo, Oviedo, Tolle. I don't think they're gonna put Tolle in there. Kennelly early. Plus you got Kyle Harrison as well. He looked pretty decent. Sandoval's hurt, but we'll see what he does. Carter Crawford, he was hurt all year. Plus with the pitching depth, I just realized reading this ESPN article, with the pitching depth they have, so they could trade a guy like Tolle, they could trade a guy like Sandoval, maybe trade a guy like Crawford. They could go get an infielder if they wanted. I don't think they're going to do that, but my thinking is I'm turning to the sad Red Sox fan who's going to be negative all the time. My thinking is they're not going to go after another big free agent or big trade candidate or whatever. Let's look. What's Spot Track have to say what the free agents are left? Because Bregman was the one big thing we wanted. All of us wanted. So let's look at available free agents. Let's look. So you got Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger could play third. Jordan Montgomery, pass. Jade Realmuto, please, pass. Away. Shoot. They just signed Real Muto. Nick Martinez got Chris Bassett. Look, Reese Hoskins. Look at the third base market is kind of slim. It's kind of slim. See, you got Yoan Moncada, Eugenio Suarez, IKF, Ramon Urias, Jose Iglesias, Miguel Andujar, Chris Taylor, John Birdie, Gio Urshela. No, I'm gonna read 7. Shut up, 7. 7, aren't you supposed to be playing like Airship Assault or something? You've been here like the entire time. I could honestly see this team potentially winning the division. Like I said to Delay, it could happen, but we have to get another player. We have to get a bat. So I'm perfectly okay with the starting rotation right now. I am perfectly fine. If they don't touch the starting rotation again the entire offseason, I'm all right with it. I'll be fine. Because they're already got a 1-2 power punch at, or I should say it for 7 since he's here. They got the I don't know, they got the Spitfire of pitchers. 7 knows what I'm referring to. But they got that. They got that. They have it. They got the good rotation. Let's go get a bat. Let's go get a Bo Bichette. Please, I've mentioned it like 5 times. Don't get Eugenio Suarez. Don't do it. Don't do it. Eugenio Suarez, I understand some Sox fans are going to say, but he works well with Fenway. He hits a ton of home runs. Yeah? Well, there's a reason why he's still a free agent, right? There's a reason why Eugenio Suarez is still a free agent. Arizona don't want him back, clearly, and clearly Seattle don't either. And Seattle was 1 inning away from going to the World Series. 2 innings, I should say, because that home run was given up in the 7th. They were 1 game away, less than a game away, from going to the World Series, their first ever in franchise history. So if they don't want Eugenio Suarez, they just we're in the AL pennant. That's something that they don't want him back. Arizona don't want him back. Well, they're not going to get him back now because they just went after Nolan Arenado, which initially, not going to lie, the Sox would have had Nolan Arenado last year if they didn't get Alex Bregman, which I prefer Bregman over Arenado in any aspect of the game. But I honestly thought for maybe, I don't know, a couple hours of my day after the Cubs signed Alex Bregman, that the Sox were going to go trade for Nolan Arenado because, Chaim Bloom and Craig Breslow are best buddies. They probably talk over the phone all the time. Like, you want to go get brunch or something? Like, they probably do that all the time. Casas and Wilyer Abreu for Cards, Brendan Donovan. I don't know where the Brendan Donovan rumors have been coming from as of recently, but man, they are everywhere. But man, if they've been everywhere recently, I don't know much about. We're gonna look. Brendan Donovan. Let's see what Brendan Donovan's stuff is. First of all, if it's a 1-year thing, I'd say no. Let's see here. Okay, Brendan Donovan. It's a 1-year deal. It's a 1-year deal. See, the thing next year is he's under arbitration. He's under team control for 1 more season. So after this year, he's under control for 1 more season. So after 2026, he's got 1 more year left. Then in 2028, he's a free agent. So if we traded for him now, we have 2 seasons of control of Brendan Donovan, and then he's going to be a free agent. Now, I don't know much about Brendan Donovan. I don't know too much about him. Apparently he is a hold on. Where is his? So Sox could lock him up cheap unless they go get an extension for him. Donovan last year had a 287 batting average, 10 home runs, 64 RBI, or no, excuse me, 10 home runs, 50 RBIs, a 353 on base, a 422 slug, so he's got some pop, 775 OPS, and a 119 OPS plus. So he's a pretty above average player. He has been a above average player every single season of his career. He has averaged positive WAR every single season of his career. He was an all-star last year. He's a career he's a career 282 hitter. So he's a better guy than Casas. He's a career 117 plus ERA. Yeah, that's true. Depending on what happens with the lockout, though. Cal. Depending what happens with the lockout. But yeah, that's probably one of the big reasons why they're not signing they could trade for Brendan Donovan. I would like for them to go for Bo Bichette because he could play third. I don't know if Brendan Donovan can play third. Does anybody know if Brendan Donovan could play third? Because that's my biggest issue right now is third base. Because we got a pretty decent plethora of infielders. At least you can play second base. Because you got a guy like Romy Gonzalez, he's a pretty decent. You got David Hamilton. I think Nate Eaton could play second if he needed to. You also got Rafaela who can play center. Or second base, excuse me. But third base, your options are kind of limited. And plus, that's the hot corner. Or one of the corner spots that we desperately need to fill. So getting a guy like Bo Bichette, in my opinion, would be a lot better for free agency. But are the Sox really going to dish $300 million to Bo Bichette? Remember what happened last time they gave out $300 million? Oh, I remember who. Rafael Devers. Same damn position. Guess what happened to Rafi? Oh, I wonder. Oh, yeah, he's in San Francisco eating Cheetos. Sorry. I always got to make a Cheetos joke every single time Devers gets brought up. But, if we did not have this discussion, if the Sox did not fracture the relationship with Rafael Devers and did the whole Alex Bregman saga, Devers would still be on the team. Devers can still be on the team right now. But we'll never know because of the whole situation involving Devers and the whole situation involving Bregman. But now you never know. Now I sound like congested and all that stuff. I thought I was only going to be going live for 30 minutes, maybe at the most. I've been almost live for an hour and a half talking about this team. I guess this is one of those streams where we sign a free agent and then we look at how does this impact the team? How does this impact the roster type of stream? Not just, oh my God, we signed a free agent type of stream, which I thought this was going to be. But I guess we're just also talking about the roster, what potential moves could be coming up. Honestly, if it wasn't Bregman, I don't think Devers would have left. Because the whole thing started with the Devers situation because of Bregman. Which, looking back on it now, that whole saga was just stupid. Because you trade away your franchise player for a 1 year rental. We all knew that Bregman, even at the beginning of the season, when Bregman signed to that contract, he was going to opt out. We knew he was going to opt out. Deep down, we all knew he was going to opt out. And sure enough, look what happened. And the Sox royally screwed themselves. I said it, I've beaten this dead horse many times. I said back in May, before the Devers trade, when Scott Boras was talking extensions with the Red Sox, Bregman would like to stay in Boston. That is when the Sox should have made that extension. That is when they should have done it, but they didn't. And then they traded Devers away. And I think I even said it on the stream that night or slightly after that. You just screwed yourselves in the negotiations with Bregman. Because then Bregman's thinking, they need me more than I need them. Because you traded away your superstar DH for a 1-year rental, is basically what it was. A 1-year rental, and then said 1-year rental is gone in Chicago wearing a Blackhawks jersey during the Blackhawks game. For any guys that don't know, Bregman was spotted wearing a Blackhawks jersey at a Blackhawks game. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. So there's that. There's that little reference. But this to me is one of those things. Hey, we got a starting pitcher. We got a 1-2 punch at top 2 pitchers in the league at the rotation. See, now we can fight fire with fire because Toronto got Dylan Cease on a 7-year, $210 million deal. So think about this. Think about this, guys. Dylan Cease had a worse season statistically, of course. So statistically, Dylan Cease, I'm going to make sure I'm correct. I want to look up the numbers because I don't want to look like an idiot when saying this stuff. Okay, so Dylan Cease last year had 168 innings pitched and had an ERA of 4.55. That's what he had last year. I want to look up again Ranger Suarez's numbers here. If I can pull it up. Let me pull the stats back up here. Just one quick second. Yeah, Ranger Suarez had a run less than Dylan Cease did. So I just put it in the thing correctly. The Blue Jays right now, I believe, are paying what? Hold on, let me break it down. So the Blue Jays right now are going to be paying $25 million. $25,285,714. So they're going to be paying slightly less than we are for Ranger Suarez right now. So we're going to be averaging $26 million a season. After this season, $33 million, $32, $31, $30, $29, $28. So it goes immediately up, then lower. But after this season, it does not touch below 26. We don't know the full Ranger Suarez contract numbers yet. All we know is it's an AAV of about 26 mil. So about $26 million, that's the AAV as it stands. So the Blue Jays are paying more money for Dylan Cease than we are Ranger Suarez. And statistically, we have the better player. Statistically, we got the better player. Across the board. And Dylan Cease, by the way, is in age 30 season. Ranger Suarez, if you do the math, is also age 30. But I believe Suarez is slightly older, so they're about the same age. But Cease has had, Cease had that 4.5 ERA, whatever it was last year. What was that as well? Hold on here. Baseball Reference. Suarez had more wins above replacement. Ranger Suarez had more wins. Those two, I just realized, those two, both their records were flip-flopped. Dylan Cease had an 8-12 record. Ranger Suarez had a 12-8 record. Ranger Suarez had less strikeouts, but he's not a strikeout guy. Dylan Cease had obviously way more. Cease gave up 21 homers, though. Ranger Suarez gave up 14. So he's not going to be the guy. So he gives up less than one home run per start. 71 walks. Ranger Suarez only 38. "91 earned runs. Ranger Suarez only gave up 56. Starting wise, Cease had more, but only by 6. That's what I said. Dylan Cease is a strikeout pitcher. Suarez is a soft tosser. But that means he's not going to get crushed. In theory. I'm open. Watch Dylan Cease have the worst season of his career. It's like a 5.5 ERA next year. That would be hilarious. But you got to admit, though, Cal, the AAV for Cease is near 30. So we're paying less for Ranger Suarez than they are Dylan Cease. And even then, at the time, I even said the Dylan Cease contract was an overpay. I still say that. Even like a month. 2 months actually. Maybe I don't even have to look when they signed Dylan Cease. I think it was back at the beginning of end of November. So about a month and a half ish. I have said that contract is an overpay. I still think it is until proven. Suarez, we'd have to see. Apparently, it's being so-called an overpay, but we will have to see. That's why I'm waiting also on the Sonny Gray trade results. Same with Contreras. But this is definitely one of those moves that we can't really clown on Breslow for now. I mean, we can still clown on him because he kind of sucks at his job still. Yes, chat. Even though Craig Breslow just went out and signed, the Sox just signed one of the better pitchers in the free agent market. Breslow's still a clown. I still don't like him on his job. It's like some fan bases, like the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. The Steelers win all the time. The Steeler fans didn't like most Steeler fans wanted Mike Tomlin fired. It's the same type of thing. Ronnie's like, we want Wong. Oh, I didn't see Daniel Barry said, hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. What's up? Not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel like congested right now, talking for the last hour and a half. I have been talking like an hour and a half straight. And it's kind of funny. It's hilarious that I'm still live talking about this, but is there anything else I should really talk about this trade? No, contracts, pitching breakdowns, statistics. Is there anything we need to talk about more about this trade? Anything? There is one thing I do want to look up. And I just want to look at the starters. The starting rotation. Or not the starting rotation, the free agent starters that are left via pitching. I think we looked at it briefly, like just slightly, not all of them, but starting pitchers here. So starting pitchers, this is what the Red Sox would have had if they say Ranger Suarez is off the table. Jordan Montgomery, pass. I think he's still hurt. Nick Martinez, Chris Bassett. Gio is still on the market. Framber Valdez, which if the Sox did not get Valdez, I would think they would get, if the Sox did not get Suarez, I think they would target Valdez. Miles Michaelis, Frankie Montas, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, Alex Cobb, John Gray, Zach Gallen, which the Sox were partially interested on him too. But look, he's got the qualifying offer. Tomoyuki Sagano, Tyler Anderson, Herman Marquez, Patrick Corbin, Aaron Savali, Brandon Woodruff, he's got the qualifying offer. Wade Miley. Yay. Don't you want Wade Miley back? Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor. Zach Little. Austin Gomber. Michael Kopech. He's more, to me, he's more of a reliever. Martin Perez. Griffin Canning. Jose Quintana. Jose Urquidy. John Means. Well, John Means is not going to be pitching this year. He tore his Achilles. Eric Fetty, please. No. Carlos Carrasco. And Marcus Stroman. No. I also do want to look at the reliever role. That'd be nice. David Robertson. Rafael Montero. Taylor Rogers. Jose Leclerc. Tommy Kahnle. Jake Junis. Paul Sewald. Evan Phillips. Luke Jackson. Liam Hendricks is still a free agent. Andrew Chafin. Ryan Brazier. Chris Paddock. Sir Anthony Dominguez. Scott McGough. Derek Law. Brent Suter. Scott Barlow. Danny Coulomb. Justin Wilson. I think I heard the thing that he's gonna retire. John King, Mike Clevenger, Miguel Castro, Lou Trevino, Job Sorbs, Jalen Beeks, Shelby Miller, Drew Smith, Taylor Clark, Tim Meza. I believe he was on the Sox at one point. Eli Morgan, Joey Lucchesi, Jake Cousins, Dory Moretta, Max Kranick, Cam Boozer. Wouldn't that be funny if they got him back? Luis Garcia. God, look at these 3 straight Red Sox players or at least 2 of them played with us. Cam Boozer, Luis Garcia, and Josh Winkowski. God, the holy trinity of pitchers that played with the Red Sox. Jorge Lopez, Ryan Presley, Hector Neris, Anthony DeSclafani, Chad Green, and Scott Alexander. Who would we want out of this market? David Robertson? No, thank you. I don't want David Robertson. Rafael Montero? I don't know. Taylor Rogers? It's not Tyler Rogers, unfortunately. Jose Leclerc? I know he's fallen off. Tommy Kahnle? I don't know. I mean, you could strike up an argument for Tommy Kahnle. I mean, you could strike up an argument for all these guys if you wanted. But Jake Junis? Paul Sewald? Like Liam Hendricks? Please. Don't even think about that. Andrew Chafin, Ryan Brazier. Oh, God, another ex-Red Sox. Sucked as a Red Sox for the last season or two after 2018. That's another big thing. That's a big thing I would like to know as well, is are they going to also, if they're going to upgrade the starting rotation, which they have a big part of the offseason, are they also going to sign a reliever? Are they going to go after a reliever? I would think they would, because right now, I'm going to look at the active roster right now. So you got Brian Bayo, Jake Bennett. I don't know who that is. Cutter Crawford, Garrett Crochet, Shan Drowan, Kennelly Early, Sonny Gray, Kyle Harrison. So let's see. You got Garrett Whitlock in the rotation. You got a guy like Greg Weissert. So these are guys from last year. Peyton Tolley. Justin Slayton. Johan Oviedo could happen. Giovanni Moran, please, no. Zach Kelly. Tanner Houck could come back. Jordan Hicks, please, anything but Jordan Hicks. Kyle Harrison was pretty good. So yeah, you got Garrett Whitlock could be your setup. Weissert in there as well. Tyler Uberstein, I don't know. Uberstein, Watson, Tolley, Slayton, Sandlin could get involved. Oviedo, Moran, Kelly. Please, I hope they DFA Jordan Hicks. Oh, you also got, oh, by the way, you got the best closer in all the baseball, and Aroldis Chapman. Oh, bad, Ronnie. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Catcher we don't need to worry about. This is my thing with the infielders. I have no idea who Tristan Gray is. Don't ask me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So first base, you got Contreras. He's going to be the starter. Gonzalez, if I had to guess, will probably play second. Costas is going to be on the IL. But yeah, Romy's probably going to be the big guy at second base. Hamilton might be right behind him. Rafaela is probably going to play more center field. I forgot about Sogard. So Sogard could play more second base. Sogard could be in contention for that because he is a switcher. Third base, I don't want to see freaking Nate Eaton. I mean, Sogard, I did forget about Sogard. Sogard could play third. Meyer could play third as well. I think they're probably going to play Meyer more at third if they go an internal route. If they go internally, they're probably going to play Meyer at third. What's up, Mississippi State? They could, in theory, they could play Marcelo Meyer at third. Shortstop, Story is already going to be playing short. Left field, you got Duran probably playing left. Center, you got Rafaela playing at center. And right field's probably going to be more of Roman Anthony. And then DH, you got Yoshida. Probably is going to be playing more of that. I don't know what else really to talk about. But yeah. Ranger Suarez, guys. Ranger Suarez, bros. Whoops. Oops. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Ranger Suarez. Red Sox. Let's go. Ranger Suarez is now a member of the Boston Red Sox, boys. That's what we needed to get. That's what we needed to get, and that's what we got. Oops. I hit a button. There we go. Yeah. Ranger Suarez, member of the Boston Red Sox. I'm probably going to go live for another, still talk for another 15 minutes, call this a 2-hour stream, and then call it a day. But one of the big things that, like I said, they need to go get is another bat. You know, whether that be a Bo Bichette. They're not going to go after Kyle Tucker. Don't even ask that. Do not say Kyle Tucker. They're not going to go get Kyle Tucker. Where's Kyle Tucker going to play? They're not going to play. They are not going to play, sign Kyle Tucker and then move Roman to DH. They're probably going to leave Roman in right field because that's a big part of his game as well, is playing defense. Because right now, why would the Sox go after Kyle Tucker? Why go pay $50 million a season for Kyle Tucker when you already have a logjam in the outfield? Same thing with Cody Bellinger. Why would the Sox go after a guy like Cody Bellinger? The only thing I could see them really going after is a guy like Nate Eaton. Wow. I don't need to see any more Nate Eaton. Realistically, I would love for them to go after Bo Bichette because it works. Bo Bichette is a good defender. He's younger than Alex Bregman. He's got some pop. He's not got he doesn't have Alex Bregman home run numbers. But he's still a good defender, still young, still got a good bat. And he's the missing piece at third base. Because I don't think we should be going internally at third base because we don't have the best of options really at third. I mean, yeah, you could give me the argument and say play Sogard more at third. Play more Sogard at third, play more Marcelo at third if you wanted to, if we don't get Bo Bichette after we signed Ranger Suarez. But hopefully this gets more teams to be like, wow, we just signed the Sox just signed a free agent. We could go after it. We could go sign with the Boston Red Sox. Maybe that'll make Bo Bichette be like, really? The Red Sox just signed a former Philly. Maybe I'll join in on the fray. Maybe I'll join in on it. Maybe it'll convince them. I highly doubt that Dave Dombrowski is gonna let Bo Bichette walk out of that Philly facility without a deal done. But trying I'm trying to think of something right now. Bo Bichette works better at third than any of the options we have right now. Sogard could work because the only reason I'm saying Sogard is because he can switch hit. And he's pretty decent at switch hitting. Marcelo, my only problem with Marcelo. I like Marcelo Meyer. I do. I really do. The only thing I have against Marcelo Meyer is he's hurt quite a bit. He gets hurt quite a bit more than I would like. You know, he had a wrist problem earlier last season. So he got hurt a big chunk of the year. That's why getting Bregman back was a big thing, but they didn't do it. But I'm glad though, after you miss out on Bregman, you don't get I'm trying to think of the word. Trying to think. But you don't get Alex Bregman. It was one of the big things all Sox fans wanted, really, with Alex Bregman. I mean, really, if you ask any Sox fan on the street, like a random Joe, I don't know, Joe Smith or something, whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's a guy named Joe Smith watching this stream, or some duh fuck on the street. They Most Sox fans would say I wanted Alex Bregman. That's the only thing I wanted to do the entire offseason. I didn't think they were going to go after a guy like Ranger Suarez because I thought they've already done enough to the starting rotation, but they just made a hell of a starting rotation a hell of a lot better. And I enjoy it because Ranger Suarez is that guy. Cole says, I'm a Phillies fan. Do you think this means Boston is out on Bichette and now we will get him? Even if Cole, my opinion on Bo Bichette is even if we did not sign Ranger Suarez, I think you guys would still get Bo Bichette. I would love Bo Bichette, but even after the where did my hat go? I'll put my hat back on. Kind of feel naked without having a hat on right now. Even if we did not sign Ranger Suarez, I think the Phillies are still going to get him because Dave Dombrowski is not going to let Bo Bichette walk out those doors unless a contract is signed. I'm starting to think, though, Cole, that Boston is probably going to be out on Bichette because the Sox typically work like this. We signed a free agent. We don't need to improve. We signed a free agent. We got you annoying ass fans off our back. So now we're not going to sign another free agent, which is probably their mindset. But I think they're probably out on Bo Bichette. I'm holding hope, though, that they still have Bo Bichette in their cards. I have not seen on Twitter, I'm going to scroll Twitter for a bit. I have not seen on Twitter saying that they are officially out on the Bo Bichette race. But I'm like 60-40% confident they're out. So here's the thing also, I did just see this tweet 45 minutes ago from Boston Strong, who I mentioned earlier. The Red Sox rotation commitments. I hope he's a Philly. I know you'd want him as a Philly, Cole. Here is something that makes me somewhat smile as a Sox fan. Red Sox rotation commitments. So the starting rotation right now. Garrett Crochet is locked up with the Red Sox till 2031. Suarez till 2030. Brian Bayo till 2030. Sonny Gray till 2027. Kennelly Early till 2031. So think the top 5 guys in your rotation are locked up past this season and next season, except for Sonny Gray. I think Sonny Gray is going to depart anyway after that. But think, 4 of those 5 guys are locked up till 2030. 2030. That's another 5 seasons that we have locked up in commitments to the starting rotation alone. They have built a great starting rotation. Imagine how good Kyle Tucker will be with at the ABS system. Well, he's going to be pretty good at it. Yeah, Ranger Suarez signing. If the Red Sox signed Bo Bichette, they'd be at $300 million in terms of luxury tax. So it would also come with more qualifying offer penalties. I'll be focusing on the trade market. So financially, they're probably not going to go after Bo Bichette. Yeah, that's if they do that. I don't know anything more about the Sox finances. Oops, I just lost it. That's funny. I'm gonna be going live here for another, I don't know, 15 minutes and then call it, or just a little bit longer. Yeah, the Red Sox had an in-person meeting with Framber Valdez in November before trading for Sonny Gray. Just scrolling through. So here's my question, though. What else are they going to do with Patrick Sandoval? Trying to figure out more. But I like this I like this signing. I've said it enough. Just checking. Yeah, even Talking Yanks has made a post. They're probably raging right now. Talking Yanks is probably raging at the moment. How the Red Sox can save their offseason. Sign Bo Bichette. Sign. No. I don't understand why. What is the thing with Eugenio Suarez that I am missing? Am I missing something? Chat, am I missing something with Eugenio Suarez? I don't want you. I can't stand the fact that people are like, we need to get Eugenio Suarez. We need to get Eugenio Suarez. We need to get Eugenio Suarez. No, we don't. Like, Eugenio Suarez would be a good thing to get, but we don't need a Eugenio Suarez, you know? Like, God, it's fucking irritating. But I'm going to look at Bo Bichette. Let's see, any Bo Bichette related tweets. So paying Bo Bichette is easily 300 million is easiest the way to close a window. They still, like, the only other guy I could see them getting is what's his face? It's for the Cubs. Nico Horner, that's who I'm thinking of. I mean, they could go after Nico Horner if they wanted, but what's the Nico Horner contract look like? Can the Red Sox make a Trevor Story, Bo Bichette pairing work? Trevor Story, if they wanted to. I'm thinking they move Bichette to third. Story still plays short. And we'll see what they do at second. What I think they possibly could do is a Story Bichette thing can work either way if Bichette played second or shortstop, because Story played second base when Bogarts was here during 2022. So the Sox already had Bogarts and Bichette Story in the exact same infield, and it worked. So I think they could do it. I think they can do it. But I'm trying to think what else they could do with that. They're probably gonna, like, I would want him at third because the Sox need a third baseman. They that is a wide open hole they need. They need to fix that position. They need to fix that hole at third base because that's a thing they need to fix, like, right away. Like, you can't put a bandage over at third base because we've seen Nate Eaton play at third base, and it is mind-numbingly awful. I know Chalmers can agree with me, and Chalmers probably isn't even here right now. He's probably in his science class blowing something up. He's probably blowing up the school. But Chalmers, you're probably Chalmers, we know you're blowing up the school with something. But you know, they're probably gonna, like I said, they're gonna put Bichette at third. Story's gonna play at second or short. Sorry, short. And then they're probably gonna play a platoon of, you could play Marcelo Meyer at second. You could play Romy at second. Sogard could play second base if you want. Dare I say Nate Eaton plays at second base too? I mean, anything can really happen playing at second base for the Sox. But you would want Bo Bichette at third. Realistically, he could, because he has the arm at third base. He's got the reaction. He's played short, which is not as bad as playing as third base. He's got the athleticism. He can also play pretty damn good on offense. I want to look as well. What's his numbers on offense this year? Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette stats this season. What? Bo Bichette had a 311 batting average this year. He's a career 294 hitter. So he can hit the ball pretty good. So he's slightly below a 300 career batting average, which is something I will take for this team. And he's not even 28. So if we signed him right now, this very second, which would be very nice, which we could hit two things in the same stream, but doubt it. But look, excuse me, Bo Bichette earlier last year had a 311 batting average, a 357 on base, 483 slug, good enough for an 840 OPS, and an OPS plus of 129. That's pretty damn good. Let me look here. They're expecting him this year to slightly regress. But, hey, he had 94 RBIs and 18 home runs last year. Played about 140 games. He was in the MVP voting as well. My only thing is he hit into 17 double plays. That's a bit scary. But his worst season was last year, or 2 seasons ago. It was 70 OPS plus, but he only played 81 games. So it would be good. I mean, look at this. Look, this is Bo Bichette's numbers. He had 18 home runs, so he's just too short of 20 home runs last year. Would have been nice if he had 20 home runs last year. I mean, he strikes out twice as much, 2 times more than he walks. I mean, he can improve the walks. He only stole 4 bases, so he's not going to steal very many bases for us. I mean, Trevor Story already steals the bases as is. So, this is the thing we could get for the Sox. My computer is low on battery, so why don't I plug that in? I will plug my computer in. Let me go. I'm only going to be live here for another few minutes. I said that earlier. Oops. Whoops, my bad. I accidentally hit a button. It kicked me out of my own studio for a second. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Hold on. We will still talking here a bit. I got to get my voice back ready for the baseball season anyway, so I might as well talk some baseball for about 2-ish hours. So, yeah, this would be a good addition. I honestly think this could be a good addition for the team. Getting a guy like Bo Bichette to fit in on the roster, play third, potentially could play second if you need him to play second. I honestly think they could have a mixture at second and third base if he wanted to. But we're just gonna wait and see. We're just gonna wait and see what they do if they sign Bo Bichette. But deep down, I think they are going to. The Phillies are probably not going to let Bo Bichette walk out of that building, especially with we Sox fans know who Phillies GM is in good old Big Dave Dombrowski. So, like I said, Dave Dombrowski is not going to let he's not going to let Bo Bichette leave that Philly facility without a contract, without Bo Bichette's signature dried in pen, dried in ink. That's like reality at this point. But I would love for them to get Bo Bichette. That'd be a great sign. That would be a great thing, not only for roster construction. I mean, I guess you could say current roster, but also uh, post 2026. Because if you think about it as well, if you give Bo Bichette as well the big contract, that could attract more free agents in saying, hey, yeah, they screwed up, they fucked up on the Alex Bregman signing, but they could still go get. We could be like, hey, they're willing to offer the money. Let's go sign there. We could go sign there and go get a good decent contract or whatever. They could do it in theory. They could, but other free agents could do that. So, yeah. So I think that's really where I'm going to sign off. I know I've repeated some points, but chat. Thank you for coming in. Thanks you to some people who popped in here. I know it was a legit. I set it up the stream. I hit the live button. I just hit create stream and then started. I just hit the live button. So thanks guys. I appreciate you coming in. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Where's the end stream button? All right. Good day.